Hey everybody, the Chopstick guys here today on Gear Talk, and today we are talking some brand new gear that just was acquired by my good friend, fellow Chopstick guy Mark here, with the new Sigma 85 1.4, and he's been playing around with it and been pretty impressed. We're going to tell you a little bit about it here on Gear Talk. Mark, why don't you take it away and share with us some stories of Gear Talk.
All right. So my first impression with this lens was at WPPI in Las Vegas at the Sigma booth. When you go there, they allow you to put anything on your camera and shoot with it. They had a model set up with good lights. I put this lens on my camera and I took a picture and went, that looks pretty good. But when I got back to the hotel room and I downloaded those images and I brought it up on the larger screen, I was blown away. Remember, I'm like, Steve, get over here. Look at this. Look what my camera took. It was that aha moment for me.
While you're taking that out of the bag, the crazy thing is I have always been a fan of 85.
Yes.
Okay, this is my Nikon 85 1.8, which is actually sharper than the 1.4 from Nikon. But I've been a fan of it. You never liked the focal range of 85.
No, I had an old 85 that I just never could get to work well for me. But
so
comes in this beautiful padded case.
Check out this bad boy.
This is a beast.
There's his 85. There's my 85. Right?
Yeah.
Comparing to my 7200, like
look at even to compared to a 70 to 200. I mean, you're talking
massive.
It weighs the same. The same.
Right, so
I can't.
first thing, tell me how big is this element, right? So this is a 77 element on my 7200, which I thought was
Steve was crazy because it used to be a lot of them were 72. They would 77. How about an 86 millimeter filter ring?
It's crazy.
This is a monster piece of glass right here. This is the reason why, if you look up this lens, the DxO Mark website, this is the sharpest lens that they have ever tested.
Now, DxO is the rating system, kind of like, I don't know what you call it. It's not Consumer Reports. I mean, it's
a scientific,
technical scientific rating system that they rate electronics and especially camera equipment and glass. And it got the highest rating ever of any lens. It beat out that
Carl Zeiss. They had that Distagon 55 millimeter
Which
f2.
was how much? I mean, that thing was like
it's $4,000, and it was the reigning champion for a long time. And then comes this particular lens. Once you put that hood on there, it's almost as big as the 7200. One of the things, the first thing you'll notice when you grab this lens is not only the weight, but how smooth this thing turns. When you turn the focus ring on this,
it's like butter.
It's like butter. If you've ever turned a Zeiss lens, they're amazing. This has that same tight feel to it. Not a lot of bells and whistles. No. This is pretty straightforward. It's a set, fixed piece of glass. You have autofocus and manual focus, and that's it.
So what blows me away is Sigma 5 years ago was thought of kind of as the it's okay,
low
right?
end,
Like, you're gonna put a Sigma on your Nikon or your Canon. Maybe not. Now, like when you pick up this thing, like you were just saying, this thing is buttery smooth.
Yeah.
The highest rated lens ever. I mean, what an accomplishment for a company. I mean, I'm starting to sound like a Sigma spokesmodel. And this isn't even my lens, but what an accomplishment that they.
Yeah, I've read they've done new things. Like in the back here, they've actually sealed the back with rubber seal, so that when it goes onto your camera, it keeps moisture and dirt out, and dust better than it ever has.
So you were out Sunday night.
I was
taking pictures with this lens. Mark took this picture of this model. I mean, it was a great portrait to begin with, right?
Yes.
Which would have looked great on my equipment. You took the picture and you sent it to me right away. You're like, you got to check out this picture. Maybe we can show it right now.
Yes.
This picture was sharper than a sushi knife. I mean, the thing was just blistering sharp.
And it's crazy because when you look at it, it is shot at 1.4. I mean, that's a razor thin depth of field, but yet it has a large depth of field for such a tight area. And you can count the hairs on her eyelashes.
So you probably can see Mark's passion and just realize that he is overly passionate about this lens.
I am.
mean, it is just, I think it's the best piece of equipment you've ever owned.
It is the best piece of glass I've ever put on a camera, and I am just sold on it. And again, the other night, having that first time to get out and just play with it, I fell in love with it. It was just, I felt like I could see into somebody's soul with it. It was
been
so
on your camera
crystal clear.
ever since you
I've been forcing myself to shoot with this lens for the last 2 weeks because I want to know everything that it does.
Now, I think, if you're a landscape shooter, an 85 is not a necessary lens.
No.
Right? It doesn't work for that. But if you ever shoot portraits, weddings, senior work,
You can do a high school senior, and shoot every one of the images with that 85. You wouldn't need another lens other than that.
So how much is this bad boy?
Here's what's amazing. So that Carl Zeiss Distagon that was the reigning champion, that thing was $39.99, $3,999.
That's the price of a small used car.
Yeah, $1,199.
Wow.
So $1,200 for this lens. And it even came with a base. And not just a base like, ooh, now I can set it on the manual.
What's the base?
This has a base that actually attaches with a USB cord to my computer that I can actually hook this computer on, and through the software, this lens, hook it on the base, and through their software, I can calibrate this lens to make sure that it stays in perfect calibration.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever tried to calibrate a lens on your own. I've done this with all my lenses, but it's kind of a pain. I mean, you have to get this like ruler piece of paper.
You either
at the right
make
angle,
one or you have to buy a very
that's really
expensive
cool.
piece of equipment. So
okay, so final thoughts on this guy. I mean, is it worth the money? Is it
definitely worth the money? If you are going, boy, what piece of glass do I need to own? If you are a portrait photographer, this needs to be top of the list. Just simply because of how sharp it is, how versatile it is for a portrait photographer. So yeah.
So it's the
No
art
regrets.
series.
This is the art series.
Sigma's got a bunch of art series lenses.
Yes.
So they make it for Nikon, of course, Canon, Sony.
Yes.
So
it's all because
it's the art for all three.
It's all three.
So if you're shooting any of the big three, I'm not sure about Pentax or Olympics, but I know for the big three.
If you know, let us know in the comments below.
But yeah, that was awesome. It's a great lens. I've popped it on my camera real quick in the moment that he let it out of his hands. But it's been great.
So if you're looking to own the world's sharpest lens, it is the Sigma 85mm 1.4 Art Series lens.
go out there and grab one, or even rent one from places like Borrow Lenses.
Yeah.
LensRentals.com. Either one of those places will have it for you.
There you go.
All right. Join us on the next Gear Talk here at the Panoptic Chopstick channel, and we will share with you anything that we find that may be something that we enjoy as far as equipment, or maybe don't enjoy, but we'd love to have you join us again.
We'll see you later.